Hey friends, I hope you're having a great day. It is July the 13th on Read Through the Word, and it's amazing that we are practically in the middle of our 7th month together. Don't even know, time flies. So fast, and especially when you're having fun and reading the Word, studying the Word, at times can be overwhelming. I get it, but it really is fun, especially when you're doing it with friends, and so we're excited to be with you today. I'm excited to be with you today. Psalm 120 through Psalm 134. When I get to this point in Scripture, I like to remind you that these Psalms are the Psalms of the Ascent. The Psalms of the Ascent, A-S-C-E-N-T, which represent the pilgrimage to Jerusalem for the annual festivals. It is believed and told that the people on the pilgrimage to the festivals in Jerusalem would sing these songs. It was an ascent. You're going in that one direction, and they would sing these psalms, or they would recite them. It's also said that they would say them, recite them, sing them on the steps going up to the temple. They were their hymns, their songs, psalms of remembering what God had done for them. And if you are interested in studying them more, those of you that have been around me for a while know about this book, and I thought I had it right on my shelf here in the studio, and I do not. But it is a book, one of my favorite books that I've ever read, very impactful. Is by Eugene Peterson. He is also the composer, the author of the Message Bible, paraphrased Message Bible. But the his book is called A Long Obedience. A Long Obedience in the Same Direction, because these are songs of obedience, God's blessing, and they are going in the direction of the festivals in Jerusalem. It is truly a great book. It's not a long read. Eugene Peterson was a gifted writer, because I do believe he's passed away. And if I'm wrong, I apologize for putting that out there, but I believe he's with Jesus. He's a gifted writer, and he has a way of really just making you enjoy what you're reading. And as you guys know, I'm not a big reader. It takes me a long time to get through a book, and so if I endorse it, it means it's good and it's readable and understandable. So hang your hat on that and check it out if you are looking for something to read this summer, in addition to your chronological Bible. When the Lord brought back his exiles to Jerusalem, it was like a dream. A dream had come true for them. It was marvelous that they returned from exile, and they were writing a song to sing about it. Thomas Horne wrote this beautiful quote that really it centers the psalm for us on this side of the cross. You know, should the Bible, is the Old Testament applicable to us? We always ask that. How does that Old Testament Scripture fit into the New Testament narrative, or to the life of the Christian believer? And I love the way he put this, and I think that every one of us can just sit down and marinate on these words and really get it. O disciple of Jesus, he says, this is Thomas Horne, behold an emblem of thy present labor and thy future reward. And it's just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Thou sowest perhaps in tears. Thou doest thy duty amidst persecution and affliction, sickness, pain, and sorrow. Thou laborest in the church, and no account is made of thy labors. No profit seems to arise from them. Yet the day is coming when thou shalt reap in joy, and plentiful shall be thy harvest. I'm not a thee, thou type girl, but there is something beautifully poetic about that. I read it out loud because it just sounds rhythmic and soothing to me. Maybe if you would like to pause and read it out loud to yourself or read it later to yourself, it's just lovely. It really is lovely. So the way I summed up that was, don't stop dreaming, don't stop crying, and from the great philosopher Steve Perry of Journey, don't stop believing. It will come to pass what God has planned. God is our great God of the dream. He is the God of restoration, and He is also the God of the harvest. And that's what we see here in these short, it's like 6 verses, 6 verses. And these 6 verses, we see that their dream had come true. They had lost a lot, but everyone noticed, and He restored. But everything that they put in, they reaped. Those tears, just hear that. Restore our fortunes, Lord, as streams renew the desert. Just think about the desert and what a stream would do for a desert. Those who plant in tears will harvest with shouts of joy. They weep as those go to plant their seeds, but they sing as they return with the harvest. There's just very little to add to that, honestly. It truly is such a hopeful psalm and song for one who feels like their crying has made no difference. Their sowing in good deeds have made no difference. Their work for the Lord, their work for their family, their work for their church, their work in the community. I'm giving, I'm pouring. Nothing's working out here. I see nothing. And if I can just be frank with you for just a minute, is that okay that I just am honest with you for just a minute? Not that I'm ever dishonest, but candid. Let me be candid with you. I can't tell you how many times that I sit at my desk and I say, Lord, why am I doing this? Yeah, I do. I'm tired, Lord. I'm tired. And I don't know, and what I'm doing, is what we're doing here making a difference? Are the books that I'm writing making a difference? And just in recent days, I really hit a very, I hit a low. Truly, I did. And some things didn't go in the direction that I thought they should, and that I felt like they would go. And I said to the Lord, I was like, this is why I didn't want to do this to start with. You know, this is why I don't want to do this. And out of the blue, an encouragement came in the mail. One of you sent me a long letter, a handwritten letter, the dying art of a handwritten letter, a mailed handwritten letter. And it just encouraged my heart. I wept when I read it. And I read it to Scott, and he wept. And it just renewed me in my vision for Word Up, in my vision for my Wendy Pope LLC. That's a separate ministry that I do ministry like as a Wendy Pope person, an author speaker, but I also do ministry, main ministry with Word Up. But it is so timely. It is not by accident that almost at the same time as I was preparing a lesson for this day, July 13th, that we're on this psalm about reaping. and sowing in tears, because there are a lot of tears cried over this ministry, over, raising money for an app. It's daunting. It's daunting. And raising funds to continue ministry, to do ministry, to have on videos, and to have them uninterrupted by commercial and data harvesting. It's overwhelming. And so that one little note just lifted me. So the Lord was like, yes, of course it makes a difference. And it just renewed my faith. Yes, I'm going to keep dreaming. And yes, I'm going to keep crying. I know I will. But I'm going to keep believing. Because God is the God of dreams. He is the God of restoration. And He is the God of harvest. And I am just renewed and have that renewed steadfast spirit has been resurrected in me today with these words. And I do hope that they will bring that same restoration to your spirit as well. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.